Chapter 6, Chapter 7, at Chapter 8 ng Philippine Electrical Code. No? So these are the chapters that are somewhat sabi natin hindi siya masyadong gamit if you're just if your field o your line of work is doon sa mga sa mga commercial and residential, because the chapter 6 is all about special conditions, no? Chapter 7 is all about also special equipment, special conditions yung chapter 7, habang yung chapter 8 is communication system. The chapter 8 also with regards to the Philippine Electrical Code is medyo confidential siya kasi there is a there is a certain provisions na nandun na nag-overlap sa scope din ng electronics engineering, no? So yun nga, ang nga nun dati is kung sino yung pipirma sa plan, no, ng mga broadbands or ng internet connections or ng internet system ng isang building, sino ang pipirma nun. So is it the ECE or the PEE, no? So that was still until now medyo may question pa rin yun. So but it is resolved na sinabi ng ng OBO na sino yung available, siya na yung pipirma for those type of plans, no, or type of connections. Okay, and ano po, if kailangan po talaga is yung dark pants tapos formal. So with regards to maong, no, maong kasi is not considered dahil ng kulay if not dark. So pwede po na kayo ay hindi pa pasukin, no? So usual will be the the slacks, no? The slacks yung itim, no? Okay, so let's start our discussion, no? So chapter 6, special equipment. So the first one is electrical signs and outlet lighting. So these are the equipment, no? Electrical signs is yung mga signages natin na may mga ilaw, no, sa ating mga commercial buildings, sa ating mga tindahan. Tapos yung outline lightings naman are put on the store, no, to highlight our mga paninda, no, yung ating mga paninda. Okay, so electric discharge lighting utilizes fluorescent lamp, high intensity discharge lamp, or neon tubing. So they are called as electric discharge lighting. Neon tubing naman is electric discharge tubing manufactured into shapes that forms letters, parts of letters, skeleton, tubing, outline lighting, other decorative elements or art forms, and filled with various inert gases. Habang yung skeleton tubing, neon tubing that is itself the sign or outline lighting and not attached to an enclosure. Yan. So yung yung neon tubing is all the electrical discharge lamp na ginagamit is decorative, no? So ang nasa loob niya is inert gases, while the skeleton tubing is a type of neon tubing na wala siyang enclosure. Okay? So signs and outline lighting systems. So this type of system shall be marked with manufacturer's name, trademark, or other means of identification, and the input voltage and the current rating. No, so in case we will be manufacturing an electrical sign, so dapat nakalagay doon ang name ng ating company, no? Yung ating company, yung trademark natin, yung means of identification, kasama na yung input voltage, it is 230 or 460, tapos yung current rating, no? Okay? Then with incandescent lamp holders, no, shall be marked to indicate the maximum allowable wattage of the lamp. So individual lamps, i-add natin yon. Tapos ano na yung maximum wattage kapag yung mismong electric sign line natin is made up of different types of lamps. So the marking shall be at least 6.0 mm high and shall be visible during the relamping. Yan, kapag nag-ano tayo, tawag doon, kapag may nabusted or may nasira na lamp, so makikita talagang klaro-klaro yung wattage o yung watt rating ng ating lamps, no? Okay? So branch circuit. So incandescent and fluorescent lamp, no, the branch circuit of this type of light of system, no, for the signs and the electric light system shall not exceed 20 amperes. For neon lamps naman, no, kunyari yung gamit natin for our electric lamps are neon lamps. So the rating of our breaker shall not exceed 30 amperes. So what if mag-exceed? So kunyari during our calculations no magpa siya ng 30. So 40. So ang gagawin is hahatiin. So you will have two 20 ampere na breaker. So magiging dalawa na yung ating branch circuit for that type of electric sign. Okay, disconnect. No, within the site of the sign or outline lighting system that it controls. No, yung kanyang disconnect switch or kanyang emergency switch. So dapat within the site yung nakikita, no? Tapos within the site of the electronic or mechanical controllers located at the external to the sign, no? So nakikita din kunyari we have yung ating mga electrical signs ay nagbabago ng kulay, no? So dapat yung disconnect din nun is na yung placement ng disconnect is nakikita pati yung controller. Yan. Okay. Then we have groundings. Signs and metal equipment of outline lighting system shall be grounded. So every metallic part ng ating outline lighting or ating electrical sign shall be grounded. So if ang ginamit natin is flexible metal conduit, it should be permitted as bonding means in length not exceeding 30 meters. So if yung whole length ng ating flexible metal conduit is within 30 meters, so pwede siyang gamitin as the bonding, no? Yung magko-connect ng dalawang metal parts ng ating lighting system. Small metal parts, so the parts not exceeding 50 mm in dimension, not likely to be energized and spaced at least 90 mm from neon tubing shall not require bonding. So 50 mm ang dimension niya, tapos yung space niya is at minimum is 90 mm pataas, no? Hindi na siya kailangan pang banding, no? Yung 19 mm, that is the distance from the lamp or the neon tubing itself. Non-metallic conduit shall be installed separate and remote, spaced at 40 mm for system of 100 Hz or less, or 450 mm for systems 100 less, 100 Hz and over. Tapos yung bonding conductor natin, so the minimum size of our bonding conductor for electrical signs, no, and outline lighting shall be made of copper, not smaller than 2.0 square mm, 1.6 millimeter in diameter. So hindi siya pwedeng hindi tayo pwedeng gumamit ng aluminum. So it should be made of copper yung ating grounding for electrical signs and outline lighting system. Okay. Then signs in fountains shall have all metal parts and equipment grounding conduct enclosure. No? The enclosure shall be sheet metal of aluminum at least 0.5 mm thick, using of sheet steel for enclosure shall be at least 0.4 mm thick. No? Yung enclosure ng ating controllers, ng ating mga sa ating lighting electrical sign at outline lighting system. Okay. So location. So if vehicles, no, above vehicles shall be at least 4,300 mm above areas with access to vehicles unless protected from damage. So this is including the electrical signs and also the branch circuit conductors, no? So dapat yung kanyang height ng ating conductors shall be at least so 4,300 mm. Ito yung minimum. So hindi pwedeng bumaba dito. If may pedestrian naman, so neon tubing shall installed in pedestrian shall be protected from physical damage, no? Tapos adjacent to combustible materials, no? So the material shall not be subjected to temperature in excess of 90 degrees Celsius, no? So hindi siya pwedeng umano ng 90 degrees Celsius, and the spacing between wood or other material shall not be less than 50 mm. Ibababa ng 50 mm. Okay. Next, we have wet location. So if our lighting, outline lighting and electrical signs are installed in wet location, it shall be watertight type or weatherproof and have drain holes. So may drain hole siya. So drain hole shall not be larger than 13 mm or smaller than 6.0 mm. Every low point or isolated section of the equipment shall have at least one drain hole. So tigi isang drain per section. So ground fault circuit interrupter so shall be an integral part of the attachment plug or shall be located in the power supply cord within 300 mm. No? Yan yung distance ng ating GFCI na device. Ballast transformer and electronic power supplies for this type of system. Okay, so the accessibility, so located where accessible and shall be securely fastened in place. With location, so kailangan din weatherproof type or of outdoor type. Working space, so ito yung height niya at tapos yung yung wide at yung depth ng working space, no, kung saan pwede tayong mag-ayos ng mga sira ng ating mga signages. Attic and soffit locations, so permitted to be located provided there is an access door at least 90 mm by 600 mm of passageway with a walkway or 300 mm wide. So, kunyari, ilagay natin doon sa mismong pinaka-top, no? So, attic or soffit locations. Pwede siya basta yung dimension ng access door is at least 900 mm by 600 mm tapos yung walkway is 300 mm yung wide. Okay, so cranes and hoists. Okay, so contact conductors, location or guarding contact conductors. So the runway contact conductor shall be guarded and bridge contact conductor shall be located or guarded in the manner that person cannot inadvertently touch energized current carrying parts. So yung ating mga contact conductors, yung mga live conductors is nakaposisyon siya na talagang hindi tayo magkaroon ng accidental contact. The contact wire, so that is the extreme limit of the displacement of the wire is within less than 40 mm. Okay? The support along the runways ng ating mga cranes shall be supported at intervals not exceeding 6,000 mm. On bridges naman, so bridge wire contact conductor shall be kept at least 65 mm apart, and where the span exceeds 25 meters, insulating saddle shall be placed at intervals not exceeding 15 mm. So this is done kasi nagsasag yung ating mga wires nito, kaya tayo may insulating saddle para hindi siya magkaroon ng ng way na pwedeng mapunit yung ating insulation that might cause na pwedeng tawag doon, masira yung ating insulation at cause our crane or hoist to be grounded. Support for rigid conductors, no, shall be carried on insulating supports spaced at intervals not more than 80 miles, the vertical dimension of the conductors, but in no case greater than 4,500 mm. Tapos ang spacing niya is sufficient to give a clear electrical separation of conductors or adjacent collectors of not less than 25 mm. Yan. Okay. So clearance. So the clearance of our live parts shall be 75 mm. So this is the usual questions talaga, no? Clearance from live parts for cranes and hoists. So yun, 75 mm. So where the controls are enclosed in cabinets, the doors shall either open at least 90 degrees. So hindi lang sa sa crane and hoist. Kapag meron tayo, kunyari ito yung natin, draw ko na lang. Yung ko dito. Yan. So for example, this is the corner of the wall. Dito tayo maglalagay ng panel board natin which is surface mounted. So if we are going to open our panel board, dapat ito siya is yung door natin is at least na-open natin 90 degrees. Yan, perpendicular, no? So dapat we have to maintain a certain distance na kapag inopen natin to 90 degrees siya, no? So kunyari, another ididikit natin dito yung ating panel board, no? So we could open that 190 degrees in theory, pero sa actual yan meron tayong hinge dito. So hindi talaga yan ng 90 degrees. That will be less than 90 degrees. If hindi siya pwedeng mag 90 degrees sa ganyang mga circumstances, so your door must be removable, no? Yung natatanggal yung door. Yan, or yung cover. So hindi lang to applicable sa mga cranes and hoist. All other boxes at panel boards, switch gears, kailangan yung cover mo, yung door is na-open mo ng at least 90 degrees. If hindi siya pwede ma-open 90 degrees, so kailangan mong gumawa ng paraan na yung door mo is pwede ma-remove. No? Yung easily removable. No? Either through bolted or yung screw na door. Okay? Next natin na So this is the demand factor for cranes. So kunyari, yung ating total ng load ng ating cranes kasama yung mga motors, no, ganon, is 100, no, amperes. So kapag dalawa, so dalawang crane system, so the demand factor is 0.95, no? 3, 0.91, 4, 0.87, so 7, 0.78, no? Kung 8, so ito pa rin 0.78 ang gamitin mo. Okay, so the ampacities of insulated conductors, no, which could be used for cranes, no, ito. So meron yang sariling mga minutes because they are usually exposed in weather, tapos matataas yung kanilang mga current rating, no, ng kinukuha ng ating cranes, no. Yan. Okay. Then for elevators, so same yung kanyang mga standards for elevators, pareho siya sa cranes. Ang pinagkaiba lang is the demand factor, no? Kapag isa lang elevator, 1.0, kapag dalawa, 0.95. So kunyari sa isang building, meron kang dalawang elevator. So kunin mo yung total na niya, na load niya, no? Total load niya kunyari is 2,000 kVA, no? Or di ba, kung laki yata. No? So, tingnan natin na sa mga 35 kVA. So, kung dalawa, so i-multiply mo yan ng 0.95. And that will now be included in the calculation for the final feeder ng buong building. No? So, kasi kaya may demand factor, kaya 0.95 ito, kasi hindi naman talaga nakakasabay na yung elevator, no? At a prolonged time nakakasabay na may gumagamit, no? So, merong times na yung isa lang may gumagamit, no? Pwede magkasabay pero hindi sila magkapareho ng karga or pagkareho ng demand. So, swimming pools, fountains, and similar locations. So, ito yung dry niche luminaire lighting fixture. A fixture is intended for the installation in the wall of a pool or a fountain, no, in a niche that is sealed against entry of pool water. So this is a watertight type of luminaire, no? So hindi basta-basta ang klase ng mga luminaire na ilalagay natin sa ating pool. So ito yung isa doon, dry niche. Meron tayong wet niche luminaire. A lighting fixture intended for installation in a forming shell mounted in a pool or fountain structure where the fixture will be completely surrounded by water. So yung wet, so hindi siya it is considered also as weatherproof. Hindi siya katulad sa dry niche, pero it is protected by the structure. No, mayroon siyang parang shell na kung saan yun ang nag-prevent for water to go inside our luminaire. So GFCI, no, shall be self-contained units, circuit breaker types, receptacle types, or other approved types. So kaya in-specify dito yung GFCI kasi yung every branch circuit na nasa or nagsusupply, no? Every branch circuit na nagsusupply sa ating swimming pool fountains, tapos doon yung mga similar locations, no? Shall be protected by a GFCI, no? Okay. So the grounding, no? The following shall be grounded. Yung mga lighting assemblies and underwater luminaires, so dapat naka-grounded. All electrical equipment within 1.5 or 1.5 meters inside the wall of the specified body of water. So, swimming pool, no? So, mula sa side ng swimming pool, 1.5 or 1.5 meters dyan, lahat ng equipment na nandyan, kunyari may ilaw, kunyari mayroon kang pump, lahat ng yan must be grounded. No? All electrical equipment associated with the circulation system. No, kasi yung water pump, no, yung motor for the water pump for our swimming pool dapat naka-grounded. The junction boxes, no, must be grounded. If meron tayong transformer, so that will be also grounded. Pati yung enclosure ng ating GFCI must be grounded, no. Panel boards that are not part of the service equipment and that supply any electrical equipment associated with the specified body of water. No, yung mismong panel board na siya yung pinaka main for all the branch circuit na nasa ating swimming pool shall be also grounded. Cord and plug connected equipment. So the length for this type of equipment, so for other than storable pools, the flexible cord shall not exceed 900 mm in length. No, yung ating flexible cord dapat nila magpas ng 900 mm. The equipment grounding for this type of equipment, no, yung equipment na nasa pool, the equipment grounding shall not be smaller than 3.5 square mm. No, kanina, yung sa track lighting natin, so sino yung nakaalala, ano yung minimum grounding doon? No, sa mga nakaalala. Okay. So overhead conductors, no, if yung overhead ng ating ng ating tawag doon, ng ating swimming pool is a communication system. So, dapat ang kanyang height shall not be less than 3 meters or 3,000 mm. Yan, tama. 2.0 square mm. No? For the track lighting at yung electrical sign. So, these are the clearances, no, sa ating overhead conductors. No? So, supplying sa ating sa mga edge of water. No? So, for example, ito, no, edge of water, so 6,900 mm, so 700, 0 to 750 volts, no? So volts ground to neutral, tapos may effective grounding conductor, so 6,900 mm. Pag 0 to 15 kVA, 75, 15 to 50 kV, 8,000 mm. No? So yan yung mga stable is for the overhead conductors na dadaan sa ating body of water. Ito for sa diving platform or tower. Ito naman is from the wall of the pool. Okay. Underground wiring locations. Wiring shall not be permitted under the pool or within the area extending 1,500 mm horizontally from the inside wall of the pool unless is necessary for the pool equipment. Okay. So, yung wire mo sa mga pool, no, ang pwede lang dumaan doon na underground will be the wires that are for the equipment of the pool itself. If not, hindi pwedeng dumaan, no? Hindi pwedeng dumaan sa ilalim ng pool or kahit man lang sa gilid within 1,500 mm. Okay? So wiring shall be permitted only if installed in RMC, IMC, or a non-metallic raceway which is corrosion resistant. No? So yung mga wiring natin for the pool shall be also put in a tube which is could be an RMC, pwede din siya na IMC, kung gaano kalalim natin dapat ilibing. No? So for rigid metal conduit, 15 mm. For IMC, 15 mm. For not metallic raceway, listed for direct boreal pero dapat may concrete encasement. So 450 mm. Other approved raceways is 450 mm also. So may note din dito, no? Raceways approved for boreal only where concrete encased shall required a concrete envelope not less than 50 mm thick. So ibig sabihin nito, yung ating thickness ng ating concrete is dapat hindi siya bababa sa 50 mm or 5 cm. Okay, receptacles. So circulation and sanitation system location. So receptacles for water pump, motors, or for other loads directly related to the circulation and sanitation system of our pool shall be located at least 3,000 mm from the inside wall of the pool or not less than 1,500 mm if these conditions are met. So if isa lang siya na receptacle, meron siyang locking mechanism, tapos naka-grounded type, tapos meron siyang GFCI protection. So pwede siya na 1.5 mm from the inside wall of the pool. If hindi, so dapat at least 3,000 mm. Okay, so other receptacles location no, shall not be less than 3,000 mm inside the walls of the pool, especially if those type of receptacles are not part of the operation of the pool. Okay, drilling units, no, at 230 volts, 15 to 20 ampere receptacle on a general purpose shall be located not less than 3,000 mm and not more than 6,000 mm and not more than 2,000 mm above the floor grade level serving the pool. No? So meron kang tawag doon, receptacle no, na 15 to 20 amperes. GFCI protection, so all 15 and 20 ampere single phase 230 volts located within 6,000 mm of inside the pool wall shall be of GFCI type. No? So yung mga outlet or mga ilaw no which is 6 meters from the pole, no? Within 6 meters from the pool shall be protected also with GFCI. Kahit pa yung mga outlet na yun is walang kinalaman sa operation ng pool. Basta within 6 meters siya from the pool, dapat meron na siyang GFCI protection. And also, receptacle that supply pool pump motors that are rated 15 to 20 amperes. So 125 to 250 volts single phase shall be also grounded. Luminaires and lighting fixtures, lighting outlets, and ceiling suspended paddle fans. No? So new outdoor installation clearance no, shall be 15 mm horizontally from the pool and not less than 3,600 mm above the maximum water level of the pool. Kanya may mga ilaw tayo suspended lights no dun sa ating pool. So ito yung minimum height, ito yung distance niya, no? Distance. So if lagpas na siya sa 1,500 mm, so pwede natin hindi sundin yung height. No? Basta within 5,000 mm from the pool, dapat yung height niya is not less than 3,600 mm. Indoor clearances no, shall be protected with GFCI and the height of those type of light shall not be less than 2,300 mm. So either that light is a totally enclosed luminaire or a suspended paddle fans na light. Existing installations. So luminaires located less than 1,500 mm or less from the pool shall have a height of 1,500 mm and they should be rigidly attached and GFCI protected. So kapag lumagpas na siya sa 1,500 mm, no? So dapat pa rin we will have the 1,500 height tapos dapat naka siya GFCI, no? Switching device, no, shall be located at least 1,500 mm from the pool and separated by a solid fence or permanent barrier. So that is to avoid accidental contact, especially doon sa mga maliligo sa pool na yung kamay ay mga basa. No? Junction boxes and other enclosures are also shall be also grounded. No, grounded. Okay. So their construction must be equipped with threaded entries or hubs for non-metallic hub. Then be comprised of copper, brass, or be comprised of copper, brass, or suitable plastic, which is corrosion resistance, and be provided with electrical continuity between connected metal. This is for this condition number three is for the the effective grounding path ng ating mga boxes at enclosure. So the installation, so the vertical spacing of our boxes is 100 mm. Pwede siyang pero hindi siya pwedeng lumagpas ng 200 mm. The horizontal spacing is 1,200 mm. Kapag meron tayong flush deck box, no, 15 boards or less, so dapat ang ating flush deck box is located not less than 1,200 mm from the inside wall of the pool. Okay. So we now go also to solar photovoltaic system. Okay, so ito I have already discussed this one sa ating technical, no, all about solar and power plants. So alternating to sunlight. So this is the actual solar power plant itself, no? Array is the group of panels or modules. Bipolar photovoltaic array is a photovoltaic array that has two outputs, each having opposite polarity to a common reference point or center tap. The blocking diode naman, nakikita to sa ating solar panel. So used to block reverse flow of current into the photovoltaic source. Building integrated photovoltaics. So photovoltaic cells, device, modules, or modular materials that are integrated on the outer surface of the building and serve as the outer protective surface of the building. So pwede yung mga solar panel na ginawang part of the wall or part of the roof of the building. So ang tawag sa kanila is building integrated photovoltaics. So charge controller. So equipment that controls DC or DC voltage or DC current or both, which is used to charge the battery. Diversion charge controller. Equipment that regulates the charging process of the battery. No? Yung hybrid system. So this is a type of system that have multiple power source. No? Either solar, generator, or wind turbine or other means. No? Interactive system, a solar photovoltaic system that operates in parallel or may deliver power to an electric production or distribution network. So yung interactive system, ito yung tawag sa system na pwede kayong mag-supply din sa utility company, no? So yung may mga net metering. So ang tawag doon is interactive system. Inverter, so ito yung equipment that changes the DC input of the solar panel to an AC output. Okay. Then we have module. So this is a complete environmentally protected units of solar cells or group of solar cells. Panels are group of module. Solar cell is a basic photovoltaic device that when exposed to light, it will generate voltage or electricity. Solar photovoltaic system, the total components and subsystem that in combination convert solar energy into electrical energy, which is for connection to utilization load. Yung ating standalone system naman, ito yung tinatawag natin na na hindi siya nakadepende din sa ating utility company. So it is a solar photovoltaic system that supplies power independently of an electric production or distribution network. So tawag doon is standalone system. Okay. So ground fault protection. So roof-mounted DC voltaics array located on dwelling units shall be provided with a DC ground fault protection. Okay? So if unbalanced interconnection naman, single-phase inverters for photovoltaic system and AC modules in interactive solar photovoltaic system shall not be connected to a three-phase power system unless the interconnected system is designed for that significant unbalance. No? Kapag three-phase naman, hindi yun pwede i-connect yung three-phase sa single-phase unless the interconnected system is designed so that the significant unbalanced voltages will not result. Okay, the markings. So, ano yung makikita na markings sa ating module? So, it shall have the following markings for the modules. The open circuit voltage, the operating voltage, the maximum permissible system voltage, the operating current, the short circuit current, and the maximum current. For the alternating current photovoltaic module, so dapat nakalagay doon ang operating AC voltage, operating frequency, maximum AC power, maximum current, tapos maximum overcurrent device for module protection. For direct current photovoltaic power source, so dapat nakalagay ang operating current, operating voltage, maximum system voltage at yung short circuit current. For storage batteries, no? So kung sa dwelling units, so dapat the cells should be connected to operate less than 50 volts nominal. So hindi pwedeng lumagpas sa 50, no? So for example, if we are using lead acid, so dapat 48 volts nominal, no? Battery non-conductive case and conductive cracks, no, flooded vented lead acid batteries with more than 24 2-volt cells connected in series, or that is 48 volts, shall not be used conductive cases or not be installed in conductive cases, no? So yung ating mga battery, no, hindi siya dapat ilagay sa casing na mga metals yung nagkakandak. Conductive racks used to support the non-conductive cases shall be permitted where no rack material is located within 150 mm of the top of the non-conductive case. Battery system of more than 48 volts. So the battery system shall be permitted to operate with an ungrounded conductors provided the following conditions are met. So they are solidly grounded. Then the main ungrounded battery input or circuit conductors shall be provided with switch and overcurrent protection. Tapos meron kang ground fault detector and indicator shall be installed to monitor the ground fault ng mga battery bank. Yan. Charge controller. No? The charge controller shall provide control to the charging process of the battery. The charge control is not required where the design of the photovoltaic circuit is matched to the voltage rating and charge requirement of the interconnected batteries. But usually, gumagamit tayo ng charge controller. The maximum charging current multiplied by the number of hours shall not be less than 3% of the rated capacity of your battery, no, in ampere hour. So kaya yung maximum charging current times 1 hour, yun na yung ampere hour. So dapat hindi siya bababa ng 3%. Kasi kapag bumaba ng 3%, so you must find a way to replace your charge controller. Okay. Next, we have, so ito, questions na pala tayo, no? So after this one, no, or yung mga sagot nyo, ilagay nyo lang sa ating chat, no, so that lalaman natin, no, if you are if may naintindihan kayo sa ating chapter 6, no, chapter 6 natin. Okay. Okay. So what type of lighting is commonly used in electric signs and outline lighting utilizing fluorescent lamp, high intensity discharge, or neon tubing? So alin dito Is it incandescent lighting, lead lighting, electric discharge lighting, or halogen lighting? Yan. So, yung iba, no? Kayong iba nakikinig-kinig lang. Okay. So, the correct answer is letter C, no? Electric discharge lighting. Okay. Next. What is neon tubing primarily used for in the context of electrical signs and outline lighting, generating heat, illuminating large areas, creating decorative elements and letters, or emitting UV radiation? Hindi to. Okay. So the correct answer is letter C, creating decorative elements and letters. Next. So what distinguishes skeleton tubing from other forms of neon tubing in electrical sign and outline lighting application? Yan, sagot. Okay, so the correct answer is letter D. It serves as the sign or the outline lighting itself kasi wala siyang attached na closure. Okay, so letter D yung tamang sagot. Okay, next. What is the maximum allowable operating voltage for storage battery in dwelling units as per given by the code? The maximum allowable voltage ng storage batteries. Okay. So the correct answer is letter B, 50 volts nominal. Okay, next. When dealing with flooded vented lead acid batteries with more than 24 cells connected in series, that is 40 volts nominal, what restriction is placed on their cases and installation? Okay, so ano yung sagot nyo? Okay, the correct answer is letter C. No, conductive cases are prohibitive, prohibited, and non-conductive cases shall be used. Okay, next. What is DC ground fault protection? Why is DC ground fault protection required for roof-mounted photovoltaic arrays in dwelling? Ano yung sagot nyo dito? To reduce the fire hazard. Okay. Next, in the context of photovoltaic system, when can single-phase inverters be connected to three-phase power system without the need for automatic de-energization? Okay, so the correct answer is letter C. Now, when significant unbalanced voltage cannot be solved in the interconnected system. Next, what is the primary purpose of dry niche luminaire in the context of pool or fountain installation? Alin dyan yung sagot? Yung dry niche luminaire. Okay, so the correct answer is letter C, to eliminate the pool or fountain area. Next, in what location should ground fault circuit interrupters GFCI be located according to the given information? So the given information is for the pool, no? Sa mga pool. Okay? So the correct answer for this one is letter B, in window proof or outdoor enclosures for wet locations. Next, what is the minimum size requirement for working space around electrical components like ballast, transformers, and electrical power supply? Alin dito yung sagot nyo? Okay, so the correct answer is letter B, no? So 900 mm high, 900 mm wide, and 900 mm deep. And next. So ito tayo. Chapter 7 will be all about special conditions. So ito medyo maikli-ikli din yung ating chapter 7. The special conditions. So these are conditions in which need nating to have special um, provisions, no? That is to avoid electrical hazards, no, or danger to to the user of the electricity. Okay, so emergency system. So test and maintenance. So conduct or witness test, no? Ito yung authority having jurisdiction shall conduct or witness the test of a complete system upon installation and periodically afterwards. Kaya sasabi ko, if you have finished wiring, no, a certain system or a certain house, so dapat 5 years after, merong merong inspection na naman yung OBO or yung isang licensed electrical practitioner to ensure that the system na in-install mo is the same pa rin. O baka nag-overload na kasi may mga nadagdag na mga equipment. Tested periodically. So system shall be tested periodically on a schedule acceptable to the authority having jurisdiction to ensure that the system are maintained in operating condition. Tapos yung battery system maintenance for emergency system, where battery system or unit equipments are involved, including batteries used for starting, control, or ignition in auxiliary engines of our generators, no, the authority having jurisdiction shall require periodic maintenance. Then there must be a written record of the test. Tapos meron din tayong testing under load, no, for our emergency lighting and power system, no, which we are going to anticipate maximum, no, load conditions. Okay. So circuit wiring. So wiring of two or more emergency circuits shall by the same source shall be permitted in the same raceway, cable, box, or cabinet. Wiring from emergency source shall be kept entirely independent of all other wiring unless permitted in the following. Wiring from the normal power source located in the transfer equipment enclosure, no, yun sa ating transfer switch. Wiring supplied from two sources in exit or emergency luminaire. Wiring from two sources in common junction box for emergency luminaires, or wiring containing only branch circuits supplying a single unit equipment. No? So wiring design and location. No? So for emergency system, shall be designed and located so as to minimize the hazard that may cause due to cause failure due to flooding, fire, icing, vandalism, and other adverse condition. So yung ating mga wiring ng ating emergency system, for example, the generator system, must be designed so that hindi siya pwedeng mag-fail in case na nag-flooding yung ating building, may sunog, or kunyari nasa ibang bansa tayo may icing, or uh, tampering by other occupants, no, of that building, or other adverse condition tulad ng earthquake. Fire protection, so listed are the additional requirements for the persons, no? So, or more in buildings above 23 meter, no, with the following occupancies. So, dapat assembly, educational, residential, detention, and correctional, business, and mercantile, no, shall be fire protected. So, feeder circuit wiring shall meet the following conditions, no, be installed in spaces or areas that are fully protected and we did approve automatic fire suppression. Yung kanyang fire rating ng mga protective equipment must be at minimum 1 hour. Yung kanyang thermal barrier, meron siya. Then protected also by a fire-rated assembly. Ang rating is 1 hour also. Embedded in concrete na yung thickness is not less than 50 mm. Tapos yung cable must be listed to maintain circuit integrity na hindi siya mag-fail ng less than 1 hour. So sources of power, so if that is storage battery, so shall be suitable rating and capacity to supply and maintain the load for a minimum period of 1.5 hours without the voltage to load failing 82 and 1/2%, no? 82 and 1/2% of the normal load. Kapag generator set, dapat meron tayong prime mover na dapat yung ating less than 2 hours if the system is in full demand. These are all emergency systems sa bahay ba sa commercial unit ba or sa hospital, no? Especially this is very critical in hospitals, no? So battery power and dampers. So battery shall be equipped with automatic charging means independent of the generator set. So if kunyari meron tayong generator tapos may battery, tapos battery bank, tapos tawag doon, supply, no, or DU, the distribution unit. Okay, so yung purpose kasi ng battery, lalong-lalo na doon sa ating mga hospital, is in case na mag-fail yung yung tawag doon, yung ating generator, so meron pa tayong battery bank. Tapos ang kadalasan kasi ang ginagawa, hindi naman agad na yung generator is nag-i-start, no? So kapag nawala yung current or nawala yung supply ng DU, doon muna pinapasa sa battery bank because kasi yung battery kasi is hindi na natin kailangan pang i-on, no, yung engine, no? Yan. So kaya dinadaan mo na sa battery bank kapag naging okay na, kapag gumana na yung generator, saka siya inililipat doon sa generator, no? Auxiliary power supply. So generator sets that require more than 10 seconds to develop power shall be permitted if an auxiliary power supply energizes the emergency system. So itong auxiliary power supply will be, in some cases, the battery bank. Outdoor generator set, an additional disconnecting means is not required in the building or structure if it has a disconnecting means within site or located in the housing or in the enclosure of the genset. A separate service where acceptable to AHG, ito yung authority having jurisdiction, no, yung ating OBO, as suitable for emergency source additional service is permitted provided it has a separate service drop. Magkaiba ang kanyang service drop or service lateral. And the service conductor is sufficiently remote electrically and physically from any other service conductor. Unit equipment, no? The equipment for our emergency system shall be provided with illumination consisting of the following: rechargeable battery, a battery charging means, one or more lamps mounted on the equipment, tapos a relaying device arranged to energize the lamp automatically upon failure of the equipment. So separate service can be also given by our authority having jurisdiction, no? So ito na, ito kanina pala tapos na pala to. Doble lang yung slide. Okay. The ground fault protection of equipment, kahit pa siya that is an alternate source or for an emergency system, dapat it is not required to have ground fault protection with automatic disconnecting means, but it must be also the same be grounded. Legally required standby system. So the legally required standby system are system and so class as legally required standby by municipal, state, federal, and other codes or by any other governmental agency having jurisdiction. These systems are intended to automatically supply power to selected loads other than those classed as emergency system in the event of failure of the normal source. So yan yung legally required standby system. So the circuit wiring, so yung common, no, yung common na mga wiring method is permitted for legally required standby system. So the source of power for legally required standby system shall be available within the time required for the application but not to exceed 60 seconds. No? So yung maximum niya is 60 seconds. Okay, the ground fault protection. So the alternate sources shall not be required to have a ground fault circuit protection, but dapat all of the other equipment, especially the equipment of those um, alternate source shall be grounded. Optional standby system. So these are system that is intended to supply power to public or private facilities or property where life safety does not depend on the performance of the system. No? So this is sometimes considered as yung mga auxiliary standby system. So the circuit wiring is the same, no? Sa lahat ng mga klase ng wiring, open or concealed knob. The outdoor generator sets, no, must have a disconnecting means, no, kapag wala siyang integral na disconnecting means. If meron naman, so and especially it is part of the genset, so pwede nang hindi lagyan ng separate na disconnecting means, no? Okay? Yan. So dito tayo, no? Questions na naman tayo. What is the minimum duration for which a storage battery must supply and maintain the load without the voltage failing below 87.5% of the normal voltage? So ilang minutes, hours, or seconds, no? Okay? So the correct answer for this one is letter C, no? 1.5 hours. Yan. Okay, next. What is the primary purpose of optional standby system according to the code? So, alin dyan yung sagot? Okay? So, the correct answer is letter B, to provide on-site generated power for selected loads. Okay? Next. In case of an outdoor generator set, when is an additional disconnecting means not required in the building or structure it supplies? Din dyan. Okay, so the correct answer is letter B, no, when the generator set has a disconnecting means within the site. No? So kapag nakikita lang yung disconnecting means or may mismong disconnecting means na on the generator, no? So wala nang need na na maglagay pa ng additional disconnecting means. Okay? When does the authority having jurisdiction require periodic maintenance for battery system or unit equipment involved in emergency systems? Kailan? Okay. So the correct answer is letter D, no? In accordance with their specific guidelines and requirements. How should emergency system be tested to ensure they are maintained in proper operating condition? So, alin dito? Okay, so the correct answer is on a schedule acceptable by the authority having jurisdiction. Okay, next. How is responsible or who is responsible for the for conducting or witnessing a test of the complete emergency system upon installation and periodically afterward? Sino yung responsible for the conduct of the test and witnessing the test? Okay, so the correct answer is letter C, no? The AHG or the authority having jurisdiction. Okay? Next. So chapter 8 na tayo, which is the controversial chapter for the Philippine Electrical Code, all about communication system, no? So yung first provisions nito are all applicable. So the combination circuits on poles and in span, so kahit anong klase pa siyang communication circuit, if the supply service, yung mismong wiring for or yung mismong wire para sa sa power, no, yung galing sa DU is within 0 to 75 volts running above and parallel to the commission service, this they shall have a minimum separation of 300 mm, no? So ang separation nila kunyari ito yung service drop mo for your power. So ito yung wire mo, no? Wire for the internet. So yung minimum separation nila is 300 mm, no? So that is equally at any point in the span, including the point under and at their attachment to the building. Okay, so kapag above roofs yung ating communication system, the vertical clearance shall not be less than 250 mm. If that is for lighting conductor, yung mga conductor natin for lights, especially outdoor lights natin, the separation shall be at least 100 1,800 mm shall be between the communication wires and cables and the lighting conductors. Yung mga sa street lights, yan. Yung mga lighting conductors. Okay, so for radio and television equipment, the clearances, so outside buildings, so 600 mm ang kanilang clearance, no? So that is for 250 or less between conductors or 300 mm from if yung voltage niya is 250 above, no? Where all conductors involved are supported as to ensure permanent separation, the clearance shall be reduced, no? But shall not be less than 100 mm. Kunyari, naka-fix yung mga conductors na talagang hindi na move ang kanilang separation, so pwede maging 100 mm. So for radio and television equipment, no? Underground conductors shall have at least a clearance of 300 mm. Antennas and lead-ins shall not be run nearer than 50 mm to the conductors of other wiring system in the premises. No, 50 mm ang separation niya from power conductors. Optical fibers and cable and this way. So abandon optical fiber cable, that is installed optical cable that is not terminated at the equipment other than a connector and not identified for future use with a tag. No? So abandoned. So hindi na siya nagagamit. No? So it is already abandoned and not maintained by the internet company. Cable sheet, a covering over the optical fiber assembly that includes one or more jackets and may include one or more metallic members or string members. Exposed to accidental conduct, a conductive optical fiber cable is in such a position that in case of failure of supports or insulation, the contact between the cable's non-current carrying conductive members and the electrical circuit may result to a short circuit. Yan. So, cables outside an entering building, no? So, itong sinabi ito, overhead optical fibers containing non-current metallic members entering building shall be complied with these provisions, no? So, katulad doon sa sa 300 mm, no? Na yung general provisions, no? Then on poles and spans, ganun pa rin. Same yung sa first natin na sinabi, no, for communication circuits. Okay, so relative location, where practicable, the outside plant optical fiber cable shall be located below the electric light or power conductor. So dapat yung ating mga optical fiber cables, yung sa mga internet, dapat if talagang pwede siya, dapat below siya ng mga electric light or power conductors. Attachment to cross arm, no? If may cross arm yung ating poste, attachment of outside plant optical fibers cable to a cross arm that carries electric light or power conductor shall not be permitted. Hindi yung ating mga Ethernet cable, no, yung mga optical fiber cable, hindi siya pwedeng dumikit doon sa cross arm ng ating mga poste. Climbing space, the climbing space through the outside plant shall of the optical fiber shall comply with this requirement, no? So ibig sabihin ng requirement 2.25.1.14D. So if the climbing space must be suited enough na hindi yung mismong aakyat is hindi siya magkakaroon ng possibility na he will be exposed to live parts. So the clearance 0 to 75, 300 mm. Kapag clearance of not less than 1000 mm if that is between services at the poles, no, yung sa poste. Okay. Above roofs, so ganun pa rin, 250 mm. Yan, so ito yung mga exceptions, no? But the main point here is the 250 mm na clearance above roofs of our optical fiber cables. Okay. So how about underground? So if that is in underground system, so ganon, 300 mm pa rin yung kanyang separation. Okay. Network powered broadband communication system. So yung abandoned, so katulad ng abandoned optical fiber cable, so it is not properly terminated. Yung black, that is the square or portion of a city, town, or village enclosed by streets, including alleys so enclosed but not any street. So yung tatawag ting kanto, that is the black. No? Exposed to accidental contact. So yung circuit natin is exposed to accidental contact if meron tayong way so that our cable, no, for this type of communication system may resort to short circuit with the power conductors. Yeah. So fault protective device, an electronic device that is intended for the protection of the personal functions under fault condition, such as network-powered broadband communication cable, short or open circuit to limit the current or voltage or both for a low-power network-powered broadband communication circuit and provide acceptable protection from electric shock. So this is usually part of the box for our network broadband. Ito yung nagtitest or nagmo-monitor if a certain part of the communication system has an open circuit or a short circuit. Network interface unit, a device that converts broadband signal into component voice, audio, or video data, or interactive services signals, and provides association between network power and premises signal. So this device contain the primary and the secondary protectors for our broadband communication system. Network powered broadband communication circuit, the circuit extending from the communication utility, yung nagpo-provide ng internet, or serving terminal or tap up to including the network interface unit. Kung saan ito na yung nag-feed papunta sa mga residential or sa mga consumer. We have also the premises powered broadband communication system. So may tayong network terminal, a device that converts network provided signals, either optical, electrical, or wireless, into component signals. So such as voice, audio, no, wireless, optical, and other interactive system. So the premises communication circuit, the circuit that extends voice, audio, data, and interactive services, telegraph, and outside wiring for fire alarm and burglar system from the service provider's network terminal. Yung premises community antenna television or cable TV, no? Circuit. So the circuit that extends to the community antenna television system for audio, no, data, video, so and interactive services from the service provider onto the appropriate customer equipment. So ito yung linya natin for the cable TV. So that is premises community antenna television. Yan. And also we have here the different type of enclosure for the communication system. Yan. So applicable pa din yung mga enclosure designation katulad dun sa mga MCCs na discuss natin kahapon. Yan. No? Okay. So we'll now go to our last batch of multiple choice questions. Yan. So what is the primary purpose of a premises communication circuit, no, as described on the code? Yan. So alin dito yung sagot, no? Kadalasan kasi ang tamang sagot is yung mataas na choice, no? But not always, no? Kasi meron ding iba na yung pinakamababa yung tamang sagot. Okay, so alin yung sagot nyo dito? Alin dito? Okay, so the correct answer is letter C, to extend various communication services from the service provider to the customer's equipment. Next, what type of services are typically extended through a premises community antenna or cable TV circuit? So, alin dito? Okay, so the correct answer is audio, video, data, and interactive services. Next, what is the primary function of a network terminal as described in the code? Okay, so the correct answer is letter D, no? To convert the network provided signals into component signals, including various services. Okay, next. What is the minimum clearance required between lead-in conductors attached to buildings and circuits of over 250 volts between conductors? Alin dito? No? Yung required na separation. So over, so lagpas ng 250 volts. Okay? So the correct answer, tingnan yung tama ba? 600 mm. So yung 300 mm is 250 or less. Yan. So how much clearance is required between receiving station and lighting rod system for the communication system? Okay, so the correct answer is letter D, 1,800 mm. Next, when running antennas and lead-in indoors, How close can they be to conductors of other wiring system in the premises? Yan. Okay, the correct answer is 50 mm, no? If they are running antennas, no? Yung 300 mm is power conductors tapos communication wires or communication system wires. Okay. What is the minimum separation required? Ito na, between supply service drops 0 to 75 volts and communication services drops running above and parallel to each other. Ito yung sinasabi ko. No? So, alin dito yung sagot nyo? Okay. So, the correct answer is letter D. Yan. 300 mm. So, ito yung keyword dyan, no? 0 to 75 volts service drops. Okay, next. How much vertical clearance is required for wires and cables, no? For communication system running above roofs? So, sa taas ng bubong. Okay? The correct answer is letter D, 250 mm. Okay? Next. How much separation is required between communication wires and cables on building and lightning conductors? No? Conductors for our lightning rods. So, ano yung kailang maximum or the separation distance? Okay? So, the correct answer is letter C, no? 1,800 mm. Okay? Next. What is the minimum vertical clearance needed for wires and cable above roofs? So this is for network broadband system. No, yung maximum. Minimum pala. Minimum vertical clearance. Okay. So the correct answer is letter D. No? So basta communication system, either broadband na or cable TV or telephone or radio wires. So the minimum vertical clearance above roofs is 250 mm. Okay. What is the primary function of network interface unit, no, as described in the code? Okay. So the correct answer is letter B, no, to provide isolation between the network power and premises signal circuits. Next. In the context of network-powered broadband communication circuit, what does the circuit extend from and up to? No? So saan nagsisimula yung circuit for network-powered broadband communication system at hanggang saan, no? Okay, so the correct answer is letter B, from the communication system utilities serving the terminal or tap to the network interactive unit, no? Interface unit. Letter B yung tamang sagot. Okay? Next. Yan. So, yung next is thank you. Yan. So, that will be all for our discussion, no, on chapter 6, 7, and 8. No? Okay?